Asante Kotoko CEO. Asante Kotoko CEO. Asante Kotoko. Asante Kotoko.
Thanks very much. To our invitation. The ratio for our gathering here is to create an avenue for engagement and all interaction between the media and the management team of Asante Kotoko. Before we start anything, let's begin this session with a prayer. And at this particular point, I request that we all be upstanding and invite our sister Lucy to lead us for the
since coffee messy, or prayer and fuel, they're in through crap. Yenya Yaw Amponsah, yes, ring a memo.
Almighty Heavenly Father, we are grateful to you this morning for the gift of life granted unto us. We thank you for your faithfulness, we thank you for your kindness, we thank you for your love. Father Lord, we commit today's program into your hands. We invite that the Holy Spirit will come and take charge of everything we do here. We thank you and bless your holy name for bringing us safely here. Father, we pray that you take absolute control, lead us and guide us, so that everything we do here will be a success. We thank you and bless your holy name. In Jesus' name.
Thank you very much, Madam Lucy, for that short, powerful, precise and concise prayer. As you can see, the management team of Asante Kotoko, every person is wearing a black armband, including myself. We are all aware of what happened last Saturday at the Offensive Road. Our own brothers from the Africa Vision Soccer Academy, they embarked on a registration exercise on the way back. They were involved in a war accident. What I would ask to do at this time is once again, let's be upstanding and observe a minute silence for the departed life. May the soul of our departed brothers be in perfect peace, and those who are injured, you're wishing them a speedy recovery. Let's be honest.
Reverend Asante Kotoko or say driver, that did not sigma moda.
Today is Tuesday, September 22, 2020. We are here. We are here to have an intercourse between the management team and the media. What we are going to do now is to get to know the ratio decidendi. That is the reason why we are gathered here. The purpose for our gathering. Probably the club Kumasi Asante Kotoko as it stands now. And when the CEO, Yaw Amponsah, was unveiled a couple of weeks ago, what he's done so far to let us appreciate whatever he's done. And then he also read the annex. But into the people that misconsidered opinion, he shares that when we are able to work together in unison, we can help him achieve the set targets given him by the board of directors of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And there is a Latin expression that says that delegatus non potest delegari. When there is a specific function to be performed by an officer that is enshrined in law, no other person can perform that task unless that person himself. So at this time, I call on the CEO of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Yaw Amponsah LLM, to come and share his vision with us.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the supporters leadership, Chairman Christopher Damenya, and the Vice Nana Kwame. Welcome. I also like to welcome all of you media men gathered here. It is an honor to be in your presence, to have a tete-a-tete with you, to deliberate on the state of affairs of our dear club, Asante Kotoko, and also to introduce to you the gallant men and women that we have assembled to help us achieve our set targets. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Almighty God for this opportunity, for bringing us here all together. Then I would like to thank Otumfuo Osei of himself for the opportunity given me and my team to serve Asante Kotoko and Asante Man for that matter. I would also like to thank the board of directors of Asante Kotoko led by His Honor Dr. Kwame for their trust and unflinching support thus far, making it possible, giving me the free hand to name my own management team. It is unprecedented, I believe, in a club like Asante Kotoko, and I am grateful to them. Before I start, as you can rightly see the black armband on my arm, my brother Moses and Pimnefo led us to have a 1 minute silence for our departed souls. I would like to pledge on behalf of the board and management and Asante Kotoko fraternity that we will donate 5,000 cedis to help care for the injured who are currently receiving treatment in hospital. And when it's time for funeral for the departed souls, we will also contribute our quota. Not long ago, Asante Kotoko found ourselves in a similar situation, and all and sundry came to our aid. So it's important that we lead the charge to help our brothers. And I call on all of Ghana football other clubs to help us put together some packages to help our junior brothers from the coast team, revive and resurrect from such a tragedy. I was unveiled on the 7th of August 2020 as the CEO of Asante Kotoko. And I remember in my inaugural speech, I mentioned that Asante Kotoko is a club of great structures. I mean, if you hear the name and the might of Asante Kotoko, it needs no introduction. However, in content, same could not be said of the club. So my task was to lead an able team to match the content with the superstructures that we have. And that is our core mandate, to make sure that how you see Asante Kotoko when you are outside, when you get in, it is the same that you're going to experience. For us, it's not about the superstructures. And I'll reiterate, as I mentioned during my inaugural speech, that for me, a completed chamber and hall is better than an uncompleted mansion. As we can see, there are many scattered uncompleted mansions around. Some takes decades and they cannot be completed. Yet there are smaller structures that are functional and of good use to those who put them. We have a progression plan for Asante Kotoko for short to medium term. That spans 3 years, that covers our mandate. And this short to medium term plan is to lay a solid foundation in terms of content to be able to build upon it going forward. What I discovered in my few months being here is that although many have come before me to build wonderful things for this club, there is no continuum in terms of transition. So people come and build, and when they go, it seems they go away with everything. Then whoever comes in starts from ground zero. That is something that cannot continue. It is important that we have structures and allow the structures to work. If I paraphrase President Obama, we do not need personalities. We don't need great personalities. We need great institutions to work. So since I've come in, without my management, in the first 1 month, we've achieved a lot. I wouldn't want to go detail into what we've achieved, because for me, at the end of our 100 days, we will come again to you to enumerate all the things we've achieved. Today is the day of the Galacticos, as I call them. So I will start by introducing them. Then we'll go through a few updates, because I understand you media need updates, the club fraternity need updates. And it's not my style, to be honest with you, to go on radio all the time to be talking. And I have to make that clear from the onset. I don't believe in people who make promises while looking for a position, and then when they are given the positions, they continue to make promises. I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. Just do it. That is my style. Once you've been given the position, just deliver the job. So without much ado, I'm going to start the introduction. It is, when I look behind me, I am elated, I must say, to have such huge personalities. I've had calls, how did you get them together? How did you manage to convince them to come? Because some of them have taken 50% pay cut, some of them have taken 80% pay cut to be here. I will start first and foremost with Mr. Emmanuel Newton Dasobere. Mr. Dasobere was until recently a Deputy General Secretary at the Ghana Football Association, manager of the club licensing, and he's worked there for at least a decade. And he comes with such a rich experience that you may not find anywhere in Ghana when it comes to his sector. For a club like Asante Kotoko, administratively, we need to be solid. Our compliance, we cannot falter. We have to ensure that the system of the office or the secretariat of Asante Kotoko, its management and operations is second to none in Ghana and on the continent. So Mr. Dasobere comes in as the administrative and operations manager of Asante Kotoko. I know that the question will come, so what happened to those who played the role before? We've had to restructure a bit. So Madame Rose Badmore deputizes Mr. Dasobere as deputy in charge of administration, and Madame Lucy deputized in charge of operations. Before I continue, I must state that Asante Kotoko is really understaffed, even with the new management. For an institution as huge as Asante Kotoko, if you want to really work in all departments and ensure that it functions correctly, you need the right face. So that is Mr. Dasobere for you. Thank you, sir, for honoring our invitation to join us. The next person I will introduce is Mr. Eric Anwakuchum. Mr. Anwakuchum is our commercial manager. I remember when his name popped up, one astute football personality, Mr. Ibrahim Sanidara, who used to be the communication manager of GFA, reached out to me and said, "Are you sure you got Eric? Are you sure Eric will join Kotoko? With all that he's got going on for him, managing such a huge institution, are you sure he's going to leave it to come?" And I said to him, "Kotoko, awesome. When His Royal Majesty calls you to come and serve, even if you are the United Nations, you have to come and serve." Eric comes in with rich experience in terms of the commercial side. He's worked with Tigo, he's worked with Nestle Ghana, managed huge departments. He's a great communicator. He cuts across. And I can tell you that even before he was announced, he's managed to help the clubs secure in principle the largest sponsorships within the Ghanaian football space. Already, I can tell you that the sponsorships that Eric has already negotiated is bigger than what we currently have. Next to Eric is a beautiful lady, Akosia Kenta Amwati. It's very difficult for me to describe Kenta because she is a woman of many colors. She cuts across so many sectors, but I'll try my best. For me, she is the foreign minister of Asante Kotoko. To be honest, she qualifies to be foreign minister of Ghana, no doubt. She is the founder of Guba Enterprise. If you've heard of Guba Awards, Guba Expos, UK, and several other Guba Enterprises, that's the lady before us. She's a TV host. She's a member of the Ghana Tourism Board. She is a football person. I mean, I remember when the Atawastin Foundation, right, went to FIFA, she was behind that. She's managed some superstars in our game. And when it comes to partnerships, international synergy, corporations, she's second to none. You must understand that Asante Kotoko have a huge diasporan fan base. And for the diasporan fans, I sometimes pity them That was one of the reasons why we initiated the House Kotoko game in London, because some of them have been in Europe, Americas, outside Ghana for decades, and they've not had the opportunity to watch their darling club play. Some of us are privileged that we get to see our team play all the time. Some of them have missed the team. So we have to take the team to them. We have to give them the opportunity, create the enabling environment for them to contribute their quota to the development of this massive club, and also to ensure that they feel belonged to the club. So that's all we can say is thank you so much. I know people don't believe you're here in person, but there she is. We are grateful. We are grateful. The next person on the list is a Kriya party in ESQ, lawyer. This was the most difficult catch. Trust me. Many may not know, but it took me months and months to convince her, because she's a very private person. She doesn't get involved so much. She likes to get the job done. And then, please listen, especially our supporters, leadership and the supporters. People were scared that you know, but I pleaded with her. You know, for a club like Asante Kotoko, our legal structure must be solid. The legal framework on which we will develop the policy direction must be solid. Recently, you all know that Kotoko has had some issues legally. So we have two persons for legal. Kriya is the head of legal domestic. In my previous life as a players agent, I took players from Ghana to clubs like Al Ali, Zamalek, Raja Casablanca. And these players were receiving minimum $30,000 a month as salary. And each time I said to myself, how come Kotoko and the clubs in Ghana are not able to attain this height? Sound financial management is key. We can go and secure all the sponsorships that we want. We can fill the stadium. We can have so much money. If we don't have that sound financial management, it's not going to go anywhere. So, and also, you know, as part of club licensing, we needed somebody of this caliber to be part of the team for us to be compliant to the club licensing. He's coming with huge experience, like David, like Kriya, like PJ. He's worked in Kumasi for more than 7 years. So he's a homeboy. He's coming in to help us manage our finances well. He's coming in to help us develop sound financial models that will help Kotoko reach the heights that we want to attain. Like the others, if I tell you the portfolios he's left behind, it's amazing. But he also believes in the Kotoko dream. So Thomas, we can't thank you enough. We are grateful for honoring this call. Then, the man himself, he introduced me earlier and I have to introduce him now. Moses and you play for PJ Moses. He was also a difficult one to get. PJ, without missing words, for me is the best sports journalist, host I've encountered. He is true to his word, he is fair and firm, without fear or favor. He says it as it is. And if you are going to succeed in such a role, you need somebody that can look into your eyes and tell you the truth, somebody that can speak truth to power. How we manage Asante Kotoko communication is very important. And when I talk about Asante Kotoko communication, it's not just about a spokesperson. You know, sometimes people, you know, use those interchangeably. Communications manager is a different role, far bigger than a spokesperson. we need to manage our communication very well. You see, Kotoko Express, for instance, is struggling, but they shouldn't. Kotoko Express should be challenging the likes of Daily Graphic, Daily Guide, and Co. Because we have the numbers. If we manage our communication well, there's no way we should not be challenging them. But where we give our communication out for free, people find out first from other sources. They don't need to go to Kotoko Express or Kotoko app to find out. So we need to, as a club, manage our information flow very well. And if you're going to do that, you need somebody who is astute and understands the vision. PJ, until recently, was the head of media and communication at JMPC Foundation. It took me so long to get him to come. He is one of the reasons why the naming of the management team took a while. Because you can imagine somebody working at GMPC, comfortable, why would he leave that to come to Kotoko? But of course, Kotoko is the biggest institution in Ghana. And we should be able to assemble the best on the pitch and off the pitch. So, PJ, knowing the dream, left everything to be here. And so I want you to help me thank him. PJ, we are grateful. Now that I've introduced my team, I would like to thank the President of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the Sports Minister, Honorable Isaac Kwame Esiama, the GFA President Keto Kekru and his team, for putting in the effort to ensure the resumption of football. I mean, I never thought I was going to miss football like that. As a football professional, I got to a point I was getting bored. I was getting bored because you wake up, every day is football. I could watch 4 games on a trot, but when, due to COVID, we couldn't play, it became so difficult living without it. So I thank them for giving us the opportunity to resume the game. I also like to thank again Asante Kotoko board. You hear so many rumors, and listen, I know that I am not speaking a lot like others will do. I know this is my first engagement after the unveiling. But that does not mean, my brothers and sisters, to throw out rumors and all manner of things and let people jump on it. It is your duty to inform the people and inform them accurately. I see this craze about breaking the news first, and it's worrying. It should be who broke the accurate news and not who broke it first. But there is this craze about people wanting to break news first, and they want to throw anything out there for traction, for likes, for... Listen, credibility is very important. While growing up, I thought everything I heard on radio or TV was the truth. But I've grown to understand that a lot of it is not true. There was a day I was lying in my bed in Accra, thinking about myself, and I was just surfing Facebook, and I got into Facebook Live of one of the stations. And a man hit his chest and said, Yaw Amponsah will mention. And he swore on his father's grave that I was at Menshia. I said, what does one achieve by throwing such false news out there? What do you achieve? So I'll plead with you all that report what is accurate. In the absence, I know sometimes the devil finds work for idle hands, and in a vacuum, people try to create things. But reporting well is very important. One of my visions as CEO of Asante Kotoko is that if I spend 3, 4, 5 years in this position, by the time I leave this position, I shouldn't have only improved Kotoko playing body and staff, but the media landscape must also improve. So whatever we are going to do as a club, financially, resource-wise, to improve the media, we are going to do. Because if we are doing things right, and some people are reporting wrongly or misinforming people, not because maybe they want to do, but they do not understand the ethics of the job, or they do not know how to do it right, then we are going to contribute to help them do it right. Because when they do it right, we all benefit. If Kotoko grows, every media house in Ghana grows. If you go across the borders to South Africa here, media people are moving from one channel to another for over $1 million. Why can't we have 10% of that here in Ghana? So it is important that as the fourth estate of the realm, we do it right. Recently, I was shocked. A gentleman from a respected media house came to meet me as a player's manager. He came in his capacity as a player's manager to engage me to negotiate for his player. He asked me our plans for the boy, how the boy fits into our club, and our vision for the next 2 years. As the CEO of Kotoko, I had to show him what we have for the boy. And guess what? The next day, this respected newspaper published that the guy had interviewed me. Can you imagine that? Quoting me. If this is not disgraceful, I don't know what it is. We need to do things right. It doesn't cost a thing to do things right. So I'm just pleading with all of you that let's report right. Now let's go into the club Asante Kotoko. And let me admonish all of you. If you are expecting me to say that when I came there was this problem there was that problem, and this and that, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I did not come into the job to speak about problems of the past. If everything was smooth, I wouldn't be here. I was brought here for the present and the future. So what is more important to me is the present and the future. I can assure you all team supporters that with the support of the board have approved that within the next 3 months we have an ultra-modern training complex at Adakojachi. Unanimously bought into the vision. So we are going to put up a fantastic prefab project at Adakojachi. Within 3 months, it's going to be done. I have been to clubs in Europe, South America, who ran over $40 million, $50 million budget, and they have prefab projects like that. Going forward, you are going to see images, the 3D images of this magnificent project, and then you would understand the direction of the club. To attract the right players, we need to have such facilities in place. It is important that we do. So this forms part of our short and medium-term plan. To the playing body, I know you've been following the news. This player has been released, that player is being released. The truth of the matter is that when I came in, Asante Kotoko had 38 players on our books. We cannot continue in that direction. We are going to have a maximum of 30 players. Our first target is 28 players. We are going by a model of 4-8-8-4. What that means is we're going to have 4 goalkeepers, 8 defenders, 8 midfielders, and 4 strikers. Then we are going to have 4 youth players, because there is a lacuna or a restriction in the Ghana football regulatory regime, which does not allow youth players of a team to also feature for the senior side. If you go to other jurisdictions, a player can play for the youth side and still play for the senior side. Even senior players, when they are recovering from injuries, when they are form state, they go to the youth side. But we don't have that situation in Ghana currently. So we're going to have 4 exciting youth players, making 28 8. However, we know that in every team there are some stars that attract sponsorship, attract the fans. So we have 2 slots for such players as well, making a maximum of 30. The reason it's important to have a smaller squad is for us to cater for them well, to pay them the right salaries, to give the coaches opportunity to have effective training systems. Because imagine that you have 38 players and you go for training. How many teams are you going to form to allow everybody? And how does the coaches get time to pay attention to each individual player? So it's important that we reduce the squad. Of course, there are players that will leave and we'll still be monitoring them. If they perform, we'll bring them back. It's happening in many places. Pogba left Man United, went to Juventus, he came back. So for us, I don't want you to feel that we've come in and we are just trying to get players out. No. It is important that we have a solid team. Kotoko should have the best team in Ghana. And that is what we intend to help the technical team to do. We need a solid youth system that we cannot compromise. Football is about the youth. If you will be able to retain good senior players, pay them well, you need to focus on the youth. Because our football economy is partly export, or predominantly export. But these people from other jurisdictions who come to buy our players do not like the older ones. They like the youth. So imagine you sell one youth player for $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. Can't you pay the first team well to retain them? Will they be going to Ethiopia? Will they be going to Tanzania and co? So we need to also have a youth team because we need to develop players who have the Asante Kotoko fabric in them, embedded in them right from the start. So that, because you see, there are good players that you go and buy and bring, and because they've not been closer to the Kotoko team, the euphoria, you know, the numbers overwhelms them. You put them at the commercial stadium with 40,000 capacity and they shake. But when you have a solid youth team and these boys are coming through, they've already experienced Asante Kotoko. That is why somebody like Mason Greenwood, Rashford and rest can come into my youth team and they will play. Because they've been in and around the team and they have already experienced that atmosphere. So it's important that we build a core team. And our medium and long-term goal is to have a young team. Imagine a Wafa kind of team backed by Asante Kotoko supporters. You can imagine the things we can do. I know we cried that Hearts once beat us 4-0, but Wafa beat them 5-0. So if we want to reverse that, we need a Wafa kind of team. I know that the supporters can be impatient and all that, but listen, currently, Borussia Dortmund have 3 players leading the attack, and they are 20 years, 17 and 17, genuine age. So we need the young players to build a strong team. And that will only mean the supporters will have to be patient for us to build something solid. Rome was not built in a day. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So we would call on the supporters to be patient. I've heard calls that, oh, management, and social media, and I'm dress it. Is football all about one match? Barcelona were beaten 8-2 recently by Munich. It's all about one match. If it's all about one match, then we shouldn't be here. It should be about the solid foundation on which we can all build. That is what it should be about. We will win most of our matches, we will draw a few, and we'll lose a few. But the bottom line is that we're going to win the league anyway. Kotoko winning league in Ghana is no news. We'll win the league, we'll win the FA Cup. If we win Champions League tomorrow, it's no news. It's been done before. Kotoko has won Champions League twice. If we win it this season, does it mean that it's the end of the road? Nottingham Forest won Champions League back to back. Check the records. Where are they now? Aston Villa won Champions League. Where are they now? So we need to build structures that will stand the test of time. That is the most important thing. And if during our tenure we build that structure, and those who come after us come to win the Champions League, World Club Championships, that is what we are looking for. Progression, not to go back to ground zero. So we need the understanding of all and sundry. We need your commitment, your goodwill, to be able to build on the foundation we met. Kotoko as a club needs a technical team that is well resourced. You will see that yesterday it was announced by Instat Scout and subsequently Asante Kotoko that we've signed a partnership deal with Instat to have our statistics in place. It is important that we are able to scout players properly. It's important that we are able to review our performances, review that of our opponents, scout our opponents properly. It's important that we build a solid database for our players so that we can monitor their progression, whether they are, developing well or there is diminishing returns. It's important that we have these systems in place. There's another partnership we've signed. I'm not going to announce it now. In the same space, that will be announced in a couple of days. All this is to resource our technical team. I know some of you will say, Yankofa Bruni. You see, when we go and bring these white coaches, we give them all that they ask for. If they ask for a dietitian, you give them. Physio, you give them. This camera, you give them. Everything, you give them. But when you have one of your own and you know he needs these things or they need these things to function properly, you are not willing to give them. You are setting them up to fail. So we are going to back our technical team. We are going to recruit the best of players for them. We are going to give them the best resources to function effectively. When you are giving them all that and they are not functioning, then you can query them. Because you don't send a man to the farm without cutlass or hoe and blame him for not being able to weed. So we are going to empower our technical team. We are going to beef up the technical team because there are several departments within the technical team, especially the medical side, that we need to equip and resource. And that is exactly what we are going to do. I can tell you here and now that we are about 90% through signing a partnership deal with an EPL club, English Premier League club. There used to be a partnership deal between Asante Kotoko and Sunderland. We are going to sign with another English Premier League club. What we sought to do is to plug Kotoko into that EPL club. Whatever they have there, we need to have it here. If not in the same size, but a replica. We're going to have that. We are going to link, as part of the partnership, our technical team to their technical team. Our youth setup to their youth setup. That English Premier League club has about the best academy in England and arguably the world. They've produced superstars. So our youth setup is going to plug into their youth setup. We're going to have exchange programs. Our commercial side is going to plug into their commercial side. We're even going to syndicate for sponsorships together. Our administrative setup is going to plug into the administrative setup to ensure that we have a functioning team. Our supporters, front, the trust is going to plug into this. So we run Kotoko as a professional unit. It's good to have such synergies, it's good to have such relationship and partnerships, so you can have that economies of scale and benefit from same. I am also happy to tell you that with just under 2 months, maybe 6 weeks of being unveiled as a CEO, we have secured in principle, as I mentioned earlier, about 3 to 4 to be confirmed today, huge sponsorships, that are equal and even some even bigger than what we currently have. But let's listen carefully. Sustainability of sponsorship is key. A sponsor can come and put in so much money, but if you do not give them the mileage they require, they will not be able to generate the revenue they need to be able to pump more money into your endeavors or activities. So it's important as fans and stakeholders of the club that when sponsors come on board, we do everything. Let me tell you the trick about sponsorship. And the reason why currently sponsors will wake up at 5:30 a.m. and ask for a meeting or send proposals and ask for a reply is because we are offering them 5 to 10 times what they are giving us or what we are asking for. So when they give you the money and you don't give them at least 3 times what they are giving you, they will go away and then you'll be back to zero. We should be able to sign sponsorship partnerships that will improve. I have worked in the sponsorship business in the UK, finding sponsorship for Premier League clubs, Premier League referees, and some partnerships can go as far as 10, 12 years. And it's always improved because the sponsors are getting their mileage and the business is booming, and so they plow some back into the club. So I'm calling on the supporters that every sponsor we bring on board, you have to take it as your own. Patronize their products. You can even use your own Facebook page to promote them. It doesn't cost a thing because it's your contribution to Kotoko. As I said earlier on, we have plans that at the end of 100 days in office, we will come to you with all the things we've achieved, including securing a good domain like asantekotoko.com. There is only one Asante Kotoko in the world. We are going to have a brilliant website. We're going to build IT solutions that will stand the test of time. And trust me, what we are planning and trying to do for Kotoko, with your support, you'll be amazed what you see in the next 6 months. We cannot afford to fail. I recently said that Kotoko is a gold mine. Yes, it is. You may see a man holding a bar of gold and assume that he is good at mining gold because he's holding gold. He may not have mined it himself. So if you assume that that man has the capabilities to mine the gold and so you put him into your gold mine, he will waste all his gold, he will come out with nothing. But if you get skilled miners, like these eminent personalities behind me, there is no way you cannot identify and mine the gold within Asante Kotoko. And if you own a gold mine, you should not go with your bowl or plate asking for help, donations. How many companies in Ghana have the customer base that Kotoko has? We estimate to have between 12 and 15 million fan base. But we need to have that database well established. That is why we are going to institute the Fabulous Census Project. The project is to register at least 1 million supporters in the first 3 years. We are going to make these supporters feel part of the club, to contribute to the club. There are Ghanaians, Kotoko fans, who contribute to Real Madrid, Liverpool. They pay their monthly dues. So we need to create an enabling environment for them to do so. However, people will only contribute if there is trust between them and the club. Yes. And they know that when they put in 10 Ghana cedis every month, is going to go into that project. And it's going to go into recruiting the best of players for them, to make them happy. What does the supporter want? Happiness, a win. They know they will not win all the time, but they don't want to lose terribly. So we need to earn the trust of the supporters, who must be treated as customers, first and foremost. And once you treat the supporters as customers, they will continue to patronize the products you have. So I'm calling on all of you that don't let me stand here and speak all the English. There is only one Kotoko that we have. And we all contribute to build it to levels that will be enviable on this continent. I call on you to help us achieve. Because, as I said, these eminent personalities have left all they are doing to come and help us build the brand. Let's not sit on radio and denigrate the brand. Let's not speak evil of it. We need to speak well of the club. Go through the right channels, your leadership, to us, and we will explain. Men, baby, say, Adia, so I'll thank you for coming. I'll take a seat and welcome questions. I'm sure that's my boss's job. So I thank you for having me, and long live Asante Kotoko.
Let's put our hands together for a CEO of Asante Kotoko, Yaw Amponsah. Honorable CEO, the eminent CEO, is giving us an eloquent speech. I'm tagged.
Is astute in that area as well, to back up Eric and his team. When it comes to event management, the two of them are astute in that area as well, because every football match is a huge event. Fundraising dinners, etc. are all huge events. Yuma here as the administrative and operations manager is a jack of all trades and master of all as well. Our midfielders, our strikers. But you all know that during a football game, when there's a corner kick or any set piece to be defended, the attackers come back to help defend. It gets to a point where the team needs a goal badly, and the goalkeeper leaves his post and goes to attack to try and get a goal for the team. So let the focus be on the team, because we are going to play like Coach Samadi, multi-system, but everybody is specialized in their own area. Let me go back a bit. Normally, I stand to be corrected, but many a times I've seen management teams form, and it's akin to a group of friends who want to play football. They invite themselves, they come together and we say, okay, Chairman Damania, we think you'll be good in defense, go and defend for us. Anaya, we think you'll be good in post, go and keep for us. So within the fraternity or the group, we are portioning responsibilities. That is different from forming a professional sport. Let's say you need a goalkeeper, let's go and hire a goalkeeper. We need a striker, let's go hire a striker. So this is what this team stands for. We are building a professional team, and so we brought in the goalkeeper, we brought in the center back, we brought in a defensive midfielder, winger, a striker, to make sure that we succeed. The next one is the formation of the women's team. It's part of our next season plan. The next season, we expect the women's team to get started. For the other sporting discipline, for us, it's in the medium-term plan, not in the short term. Because despite the fact that all that are necessary, the foundation of Asante Kotoko is a football club. Although it's called a sporting club, the football side is the foundation. If the football side is going well and is generating the right revenues and the right attraction, then we can venture into the other areas. So we lay down the solid foundation for that, but it's is all in the immediate plan.
Last one.
Supporters registration. I'm surprised that question came. Management cannot do supporters registration without supporters. Supporters cannot do supporters registration without. So we are working together to ensure the success of the project. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, it's done. Okay, the next set of questions. Let's pick from that end to create a balance.
I'm Raphael, TV3 Akoma FM. I want to find out from you, if you consider the pressure that comes with the job, and I'm sure you've had a taste of that pressure, how are you going to work to meet expectations vis-a-vis your vision of improving structures and laying the foundation for the plan? Because focusing on that is really results will not come immediately, but the supporters only consider results. How will you balance the two to be able to meet expectations on fans and yet build structures and lay a foundation for a solid future? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me go to the back. Yo, you come.
My name is Bright. I work with them. This is my question. When during your speech, you mentioned that Asante Kotoko is the biggest institution in Ghana, and for that matter, you have to assemble great men or the best people to form your management. Now you've assembled. My question is that how are you going to pay these men, considering their background, where they were working, the kind of job? How are you going to pay them?
Okay, Sheikh.
Thank you. My name is Sheikh Tofik, football man in Ghana. Mr. Chairman, usually we have leadership after leaving office coming out to say the club owes me this amount of money, the club owes me this, I put in this, I invested in that. Are we going to have a situation where you declare to the general public and the supporters what you have been given by the board to start your job and how you intend managing what you have been given?
With regards to the marketing sector of the club, because it's the marketing sector which is going to bring out money from the corporate world especially. So are you going to outsource the marketing department of Kotoko, or you are creating a department for the club? Thank you.
Please ask the questions. So ask the questions. I'm afraid after this session there will be no opportunity for another engagement between ourselves as journalists and then the CEO. So if you have a question, this is the opportunity for you to come and ask. Okay, come. Sure.
Thank you. Please, I'm Sasudan Kwai and I work with Opensoul Radio. Yes, for me, I think that you've been able to conjoin some amazing forces together to work for Asante Kotoko. My question is, on countless occasions, you've seen that when the leader is moving or after serving his tenure, he goes with all that he appointed. And I would want to ask if, let's say, after your mandate and when you are going, are you going to go with the people that you've appointed? And is there any portfolio that is permanent in your management? Like there's a single portfolio that that kind of portfolio is permanent and the person is going to serve Kotoko for so many years. Thank you.
Good question. Okay. I think it's up to the number 4. So.
For granted. Yes. I repeat, no brand is going to take Kotoko for granted. I hear people go around talking all manner of big talks. Some contracts are not even worth the paper they are written on. Nobody can bully Kotoko. We are going to do what is good for Asante Kotoko and the fans. We are going to make decisions that will kneel to the benefit of Kotoko first and foremost. No individual is bigger than Kotoko. It's not going to happen under our watch. Never again. We are going to protect Kotoko with our blood. I don't mind putting my head on the chopping block. It's Kotoko first. I repeat, no brand will take Kotoko for granted. Again, no matter who you are. So going forward, once all contracts are reviewed, and we are sure people have been fair with us, we will deal fairly with them. Those who have not been fair to us, we will not be fair to them. And those who are threatening legal actions, we will make them put forward. Kotoko cannot be taken for granted. I repeat, Kotoko is bigger than most of these brands that are bluffing Kotoko. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship. You help us, we help you. Brand association is supposed to help both parties, not one side. If you associate with Kotoko, you associate for mileage, and we associate for financial gains. If we give you the mileage, you have to give out what you promise. You don't promise and you don't deliver and you expect us to continue to deliver for you. We will be fair to brands that are fair to us, and that is what it's going to be. Plans for staff gaps. Rome was not built in a day. We have come in. I believe this team is capable of starting the journey. Once we bring in the right revenues and we identify the areas that are needed, we'll be building as we go along. We'll be forming management committees to help with some of the gaps. And these are people who are going to come in not on any remuneration, but to also contribute their quota to the development of Kotoko. In terms of team leaving, this team are here for Kotoko. They are not here for Yaw Amponsah. Coaches come in and assemble players. They leave and the players stay. So why would I assemble a team and then I have to live with the team? No. They are employed by Kotoko. I'm only leading the team. I can drop them tomorrow. Kotoko lives on. And the team lives on to develop Kotoko. So that's about it. Thank you very much. I'm in charge here. I'm a scout, signed agent for over 10 years. Meaning all the processes. I never work technical department. And losing and draft. Yeah, instant scouting. Say they are scouting of players. It's very easy for the coaches to assess players properly and send it to them. And the player signing, no, factors in the sporting director coach relationship. Now we go baby and we go baby. The minimum say European teams did cover. They are starting cover sporting directors. They say one. I don't know say coach go over on the number players. On we are loyal to him. Into the free team anymore. If they are not influencing players. Secondly, when it comes to negotiations, and the coach also play negotiations even from the initial stage. I was saying, cooking and anything. And yes, and coaching the one source, me target. me position with sporting director and social media. When you me say me no meeting, why they one pen amateur. But in the I feel nearby. You share near what you say. You don't feel sport is not broken. At the end, I say, yeah, crap. I feel nearby. You should systems ever boy and ready every day. You are going to be a shipukina. Say they are a bit put you, am I? And we have a flow of information. Oh, sir, and then I'm your really team. See, they are now saying them say last Friday. PJ Abbey, also forming the communications team. And you know, several other people were with me on the yeah, other approaches, so, and they said, experts will speak on the Kasafa, the whole department, and what they said the technical issue. And then there was a communication director, and the technical person with match HM. Say, legal issue, if you're a lawyer, with match HM, you're saying your communication is in there. Say, commercial issue, the commercial manager, with match HM right there. More, if the international diaspora issue be a CEO of that tower, over there, which you think is only in Anna. Oh, was a communication director. Oh, you go back. There were over 500 radio stations for Ghana. Said 10,000 of friends at the same time. Over there. Until I was said, yeah, allow my scratches on the a year, you might. Yeah, that was one of my cosmos. Was one why I said, yes, ready. Ever possible. And people say, I'm 18 now. They say 3 months, we see a project. People back and say, and I see what they say, oh, wow, like the box of performance. They didn't feel you can now be. So, wow, also, oh, man, we can say prefab and prefab projects and check. In 3 months, you didn't. We are going to the end room now. What the secretary say? And I will say application. Yeah, any technical department, the recreational side, dressing rooms, accommodation for 30 bed dormitory. We have medical team, have their offices and their infirmary. The secretariat now, so we don't have an administration block. So we are in the movie to Anagoja in your time, not later. And you will see it. If you 3 months, one of you crying. Now, if you want to say, they must start here. Ever. The man also ever. The moment why, analyst, physical trainer, dietitian. Only that because I got to still understand, you know. We need to be out here. Sani paying, I don't want to see you. Because they are experts in their field. What's in here? Now, if you're right, your science starts to you. Definitely, it means I'll say, did you understand it? Even boys, see, and yet, all the time, player, I won't say, wait now for player, the other. If they're not your way, $1 million or $2 million. Upon that, but one properly here, they need him, say, they are development, they're the cost right. So we do now $230,000. Well, lose so much because one fat dietitian here said we have $12,000. I'm an appropriate sample and I'm already here. He said, I was being a fast work. Medical side, they're very important. Your players do Kumuha. You have so much belief in them. I also know. At the end of the day, we need to back home. You're 15 years. Now you're chronic. Now you carry an idea. It is said over spending $10,000. Now you're sharing for the year. No more than you wait about 14. Only you about making more young in fast work. And they say, Obeka say, okay, Sigeni go. Now, Apalam, 9%. Sorry. Otoka. Would you can come and say, the organizer is out. We just go another one. And you know, products that you footballers and say, you do say, get 4 years grade. So, $100,000. Now we shoot 2 years. Wait, must have $1,000. I come over to play $1,000. 2 years, where you should must have $200,000. If the footballers no fast row woman, I was here crack for me. Everything is running away in there. But it's a question here, very there. They will say it's a camo. A basic cover needs to be filling all these gaps. Because a lot of us understand that even here, we have identified it. Meaning now, then meaning I will say the and case sponsor. I don't kind of have a very crowd there. You come on, to bed in here. I'm only going to bed in here. Kotoko is so big. Now, any baby, who say, you, Kotoko, while we hear Muntino, from the Famona, not under my watch. Never. A Yama Kotoko any day. Now, fans can be excited. Say Kotoko. I never find the dream I pay for. The American. To ensure that you can be out for the yes, and I have here. Okay, say there are systems in place, but
then I'd like to thank the King of the Land, Otumfuo, for his support. Then to our amazing CEO for his vision, his passion, and for putting a strong team together. We'll make sure that the vision that you have, us, the team, will be solidly behind you and will deliver every task that you set us. And then to the media and to the supporters. Like somebody, I think the young gentleman here said, we need your support. We need positive media reporting. Look, in the UK, the media supports England. Even when England are not doing well, they support and they put out positive media. We need you to put positive media behind Asante Kotoko. And there's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so we need you all so that we can go together. So thank you all for coming. And for all of you that are here today, why? Me Asante. But please, I will be speaking the English. Thank you very much.
Fellow Ghanaians, I'm Eric Donko, a professional footballer. I urge you to go to YouTube and subscribe to Stonches TV. Stonches TV, #1.